I am painting with 3 colors that was requested by a commenter. They said they wanted purple, blue, and red, which I thought was kind of funny because I was like, doesn't red and purple or red and blue make purple? I don't know. But I went and picked up some new brushes. I got me a big 2-incher here and a whole bunch of these little guys. So let's have fun. Let's see what we can do today. I don't really have an idea. All I know is, I guess because of the colors, I'm going to do like a sunset kind of in the background. Not sure how that's going to look on camera, but I got too many cameras. So let's give this a try here. Do a couple of these guys here. We're actually going to do more of the blue down bottom. I'm going to try and make it like a, I guess, water on the bottom. The horizon line is going to be around right here. And so with it being on a black canvas, hopefully it looks right. And I went and got me a big 2-inch brush. I've always wanted one of these, but this thing was like it's cool, man. So let's start from the top. Actually, let's start from the middle and work our way out. Might need more paint, actually. But, no, this will work. So my last painting I did, I had a lot of texture in it. And the texture was great and all, but the problem with it was so cold. It's still cold outside. But it's so cold that it just didn't want to work with me. I'm going to have to put more paint on here. Yep, more paint. Maybe I'm just so used to painting so thick, it's not normal for me. I'm going to try to actually make this one like a really pretty picture that doesn't take 4 days to dry. With this purple, I'm hoping that it'll merge in well with like a water look, because let me tell you, you know how amazing that would look if it did? You'd have a nice little sheen. Ooh, let's go ahead and speed this up. Go ahead and get these brush strokes in here. Make it all nice and neat. It's a little darker in this room than it was yesterday or the day before whenever I was out on the lake. The lake's still frozen, but it is. Hold on. Is this guy not closed all the way? That is a problem. All right, we got it fixed. So it looks like, let me make it clear, I'm no painter. I'm kind of new to this, just having a little fun with it, like you're supposed to, right? And I don't really like watching tutorials and stuff. It just kind of ruins it for me. So what I did, because everybody kept calling me a Bob Ross lookalike, or you look like Bob Ross and stuff, you didn't make a painting channel. And every time they tell me that, I was like, nah, you guys are just, just kind of, pulling my leg. I know I kind of look like him, but I can't paint, man. I'm not Bob Ross. Well, here I am doing painting, and look at that. That looks so cool. Oh, look at the little orange hues. Actually, yeah, that looks good. All right. So we're going to have kind of a sunset in the middle. I'm actually going to drag this up a little bit. Look at that. I kind of round it off in the bottom here too. Yeah. All right, background. Red, blue, and purple. Look at that gradient. That looks cool. So I'm gonna wash this brush off real quick. I got a little cup of paint thinner here, paint cleaner. I think that's what you're supposed to use, right? Paint thinner. Well, that's what I'm using. And if it's not right, then whoops. I got some napkins and stuff out in the yard, but good enough. One more thing of orange. And that should make the middle just the way I want it. It's a little bit much, but too late now, huh? Since I have this pretty view of a lighthouse in the background, I guess I'm going to use that to kind of guide what I'm going to do here. I really like dark photos and dark pictures, and the reason why is because, you know, when you're sad, you want to come paint to get out of being sad. That's why I always start with a blank canvas, by the way. It's like you're having a bad day and you come out here and it's like, all right, I'm feeling a little bit better, you know? It's like one of them things. All right, now we got our background done. I'm going to go ahead and try to make a sky here. And with the sky, because it's kind of dark to light here, I'm going to bring the light up a little bit. A little bit more orange. It'll look a little worse. There we go. So I'm going to flip the brush over so it's a little bit more orange on it. Rub that orange in. Just go one way. That should clean up the brush strokes a little bit. Yeah, that looks a lot better. All right, I'm going to put this over here in the cleaner. All right, 2-inch brush is put up. Now what we're going to do, we're going to pick a color. Let's see. What color do you think the cloud should be? Kind of a, well, I guess since we're sticking to the red and purple, I'm going to bring deep red in here. All right, here we go. I got a violet, a deep red, and a white on here. And these are brand new brushes. I've never used them. A little flimsy. They were cheap. That's all right. So I'm going to take some deep red and some purple here. Try to mix them a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run them up top here. Just kind of make some hues. I'm going to add some white. That should add like cloud cover look. Just kind of throw it on there. It's not a big deal. I'm going to come in a second. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to come in a second with these white and just kind of look at that. Got a purple guy here. Clouds kind of do whatever they want, right? It's nighttime too, so it's going to be kind of a hazy cloud. So since it's a hazy cloud, let's just kind of actually do this. Nah, that don't look right. Yeah, let's just keep doing the tapping. Let's add a whole bunch more purple, white. There we go. Keep that kind of flurry over here. Clouds kind of just do whatever they want, right? Let's bring it down in here a little bit. Bring some of that purple into the red. Let's make it smaller down here so it looks like it's going away, right? So I'm going to turn the thing and just kind of bring it in. Clouds are they just do whatever they want, right? Cool. I have no idea how good this is going to look. Kind of just do things kind of however, right? All right, so now we got this purple and red in here. I'm going to go ahead and just paint this out, get it all thin so it dries up. Cool. All right, we're going to keep these colors dark. So we're going to run a black straight across the back here as like a range, a mountain range or something like that. So let me find me a dark color. As a matter of fact, I got black right here. That is What is this? Phthalo green. Okay, let's not use that. Let's just go straight black. Grab the black. All right, so I'm gonna put some black down here on my little paper card thing that holds my color. Now this is gonna be. I'm gonna use this flat guy here, little flat brush. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna run straight through the side of it. That way I can do. Let's see. What are we gonna do here? You just gotta make a decision, right? All right. There's our mountain line. Because of how wet it is, I might have to use more. And that's fine. All right, so actually, let's make the mountain kind of big over here. Yeah, there we go. So we got a big old mountain back here. I'm just gonna glaze the paint on there. All right, now let's add some peaks. I'm just slopping it on there, right? I'm a texture guy. I wanted the background to be flat, but whenever you make the mountains and stuff, you always want texture on there, you know? So I'm just gonna keep on dabbing all kinds of stuff on there. We'll add whites and shades to it in a minute. It should add depth. Because this is supposed to be kind of far away, right? Ooh, look at that, got a little on there. That's okay. Not a big deal. Let's add this one back here. Kind of a tall guy, isn't he? Let's bring him out. There we go. I'm gonna drag him out. What I'm doing is I'm actually only touching what's on top. I'm not pushing onto the painting itself. Look at that, more dirt down. That's okay, because I'm gonna actually make that look like water. And so, because this line, actually, I want to bring this line down. Because land's not perfectly flat, right? Land's gonna come out and go up, come out. Notice where our horizon line is. So remember, our horizon line is right there. So all this excess on the bottom, that's essentially going to be in what I want to be in a water area. But because you have to do back to front, always with paintings, back to front. So this is really far away. So this would technically be back to front, but the sky is always the furthest away. You can never touch the sky unless you're in an airplane or something. But if you're on the ground, you can touch a mountain. It may be a long walk, and that's fine. Look at that. Big boy over here. Cool. I love it. Let's add a little depth here. Do a little guy behind these guys here. And so with the texture, what I'm going to do is on each of the peaks, I'm just going to tap. So you'll see it kind of starts bringing it in. And it pulls a ton of weight towards the surface if you just keep tapping it like that. And it's something about just the big blotches of paint. It just looks better. Yeah, it uses more paint, but that's all right. What's it going to hurt, you know? And so, because our water line is kind of right here, so let's make a kind of a edge here. Nothing too serious. All right. You see that? Cool. All right, so since our depth of view is kind of like we're looking that way, what we're going to do is we're actually going to just don't make it soft. Like, it needs to be soft. It doesn't need to be it's water, or water-ish. So you want to kind of keep it kind of like it is, but since your depth is coming towards you, it needs to come kind of like that. Because at sunset, your shadows are going to be really long. It's going to be much longer than the normal. So I'm going to bring it down all the way to the purple. There we go. Make sure it's always coming toward you, because that will give you much better depth. And I love my dogs, so I'm going to do something similar to my dock. Because this water's not going to have as much texture, right? I'm going to come back with the whites later and do the texture. All right. Now the sun's under these mountains, right? So it's going to be behind everything, but you can still see the sky. Now, because that is done, I'm going to go ahead and just paint this out here. Let it go ahead and dry off a little bit. Put this guy over here in the cleaner. Now, we're to the point where we can decide to go, can we do our forefront, do something in the middle, do something further away? So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to do kind of an island or something small coming in around here and come down right here. If I can get this open without it getting all over my fingers, that'd be great. Ah, there we go. All right, whole bunch of blue. And because of how wet the board is, it'll mix in with the black. It'll look good. For this one, we're actually, wait. I should do the water first, because if this goes over the water, it'll look wrong. So I'm going to leave the blue on there. And I'm going to do a white. Just a white, right? So I got a little tube of white. I haven't used this one yet. I'm going to set this down. I got this little guy. All right, got this little guy here. Gonna add, I say a little bit more. Big old splotch of white here. What I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna make it give definition to the water. So right now the water is just kind of flat, right? But you want water to be kind of all over the place. I'm gonna do the side of the mountain first. So to give definition to the mountain, you gotta add, remember how I do the tapping? I do the tapping. So if the sunset's coming straight at you, so you're actually gonna have, let's see, let's run water. Okay, so we'll do, I'm gonna do a little bit of white on the side here. That actually does not look good at all. But we're already this far, so work with it, baby. Well, with how horrible that looks, I am not going to do any more of that. Actually, it might actually look pretty good. You know what? I'm going to let it fly. I'm already here. The rain is picking up. It's coming down pretty hard out there. Bring a little bit more. Yeah, that's what I'll do, because it's dark. That would make sense. Okay. Never mind, guys. I'm just dumb. Alright. Just kind of play with it. Go wherever you want to with it. Because of how dark it is, the snow can just kind of be wherever you want it. And if you want to add, like a little, just take a little bit of paint from over here, add a little bit of darkness. That adds another mountain. That adds another one. And then you can even take a little bit from here, drag it straight forward. Alright, it's not working like I was hoping it would. That's alright. That's alright. Keep on tapping. Keep on tapping. I'm going to come back with black later and clean it up. keep on tapping. So I made a pretty large mistake here, and that's all right. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is why you're probably watching, because you're like, wow, look at these mistakes. Ooh, I actually really like how that looks. Oh, that looks so cool. All right, just kidding. It's not a mistake. It is a convenient learning experience. Oh, look at that. It's like mixing with the white, and there's like white streaks instead of just straight snow. Ooh, man. This is cool. All right, with this big old mountain over here on the side, right? This one right here, this big guy. The whole thing is going to be covered. I'll come back later and define the edges with a little bit of black. I just like the way this white is mixing with this purple. Make a lot of ridges and stuff, right? Be sure to add one right here. Oh man, this looks so cool. Alright, cool. Mountain's got some white in them. I'm going to clean this off. Make sure not to get anything dirty around here. This is not my property. This is public property. So I gotta make sure it's clean. All right, let's add some white to the water here. So just a little bit. So because we're gonna start right here, we're gonna just add a little. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back in a minute and add a whole bunch of little smears in it, but it'll make it look right. Remember how I said perception? So the perception is it's coming towards you. So you want it to be really, really, really wide towards you. And they get kind of smaller the closer it gets. So depending on where your light is, you're gonna see a whole lot of little sparkly guys, you know, little. Just gotta let it do its thing, right? Let free flow, because that's what paint does, right? Gotta let paint do its thing. Now it looks like it's like coming at you, right? Because when you're looking straight at it, it's like coming towards you. Oh, look at that. There's a little orange coming through the mouth. That ain't supposed to be there. Hide away, little orange guy. Can't be seeing the sky through the mountain. That ain't right. This is a disaster. Okay, now that we're here, let's go ahead and take this blue. We're gonna go ahead and let's let's start right here. So what I'm doing with the blue is I'm adding depth to the bottom because it's real close. Because you want something that's darker to be close. It always looks better. I don't know why, but it does. So look at that. We got the entire bottom here covered in that blue. I'm going to come back with the black here in a minute. There we go. Bringing that blue out because earlier you really couldn't see it. Now it's mixing with that real dark purple down here. And it's making it look really good. This whole thing is just soaking wet, by the way. I just like to leave the paint just completely wet. Because if you let it dry, yeah, you can get more detail, but you can't get this texture. And I don't feel like spending, 2 weeks on a painting. I just want to enjoy what I'm doing now. What's it going to hurt? It'll look good when you're done. I got a little more paint on here, so I might as well use it. Too much paint never hurt. Just makes it more vivid, right? There we go. Throw a little bit of white on the edge here to add some depth. Closer to the water. Now, after I do all this, what I'm going to do is bring in the black, because we're going to be looking towards the light. And everything's going to be backdropped. You're not going to be able to see. Sorry about the sniffles. It is cold. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clean this brush off. I'm leaving these two paints on here specifically for if I need them here in just a minute. Let me find my black. There's my black right there. Go ahead and put this black on here. All right. Now we got the black. Big old pile of black. We're gonna get a big flat brush here and just slap that bad boy on there. Just send it. Now that blue, it's gonna make the black a little less black. Should bring it up a little bit. Now, because I really like docks, we're gonna do another dock. And because of how this is, we can just run this up right here. Add a little more. And we're gonna want the perception to look like it's going straight out to the water. So we're gonna drop the size of it pretty quick as we go up here. As you can see, it goes straight out. We're gonna put some more paint on there. We're gonna drag it out again. Let's bring some more up here. All right. We're in the dock right there. So now we're gonna edge this out, make it nice and sharp. Because who doesn't like a dock, right? All right. Now that that's sharp, we're gonna pull this out. Now, whenever you're really close to a shoreline like this, you're gonna usually have some stuff really close to it, right? So over here, you may have a little dock line, you know, something going on here. Let's keep that simple. I don't really like that. Maybe some, you know, some grass. But not all the way around. We're gonna add some right here, like a little grass right here, a little grass coming out here. Maybe a log in the water, right? So how would that go? You'd probably, yeah, just a little black guy, and then here in a second I'll add little white edges around it, right? So it'll look like what it's supposed to look like. But now that we have this, let's go ahead and detail the dock out. So you remember that white that I left on this board here? Let's add a little bit of grass over here. Because of that blue, we're getting a lot of that blue mix in there. So let's go ahead and add some more black. I'm gonna do this all the way through here actually, but you wanna do it in layers. So you wanna go furthest away first, that way it looks right, because everything on top, and we're gonna have a little path that kind of comes out here. You'll be able to see it. You can't really see it on camera probably, but you'll be able to see it when you look at it because of the texture. So normally you'd want like a color in and color out. That's not really like I don't really like painting like that. I really like painting with depth using texture and actual shadows from whatever's around it, because it changes the picture when you look at it. Go ahead and put this guy over here in the cleaner stuff. I'm gonna grab this little guy. Got this little bitty, like, I don't even know, a 1/4 inch. It's this tiny guy. I'm gonna take the white, and I'm just gonna start at the back here. Just tap it in, and I'm gonna run it across. Oh, look at that! I got a little dirt, a little paint on me. Whoops. And I'm gonna drag it across, and I'm gonna do that all the way out. Make it slowly descend. Take it to the edge if you want. Remember, when you build things, you got to have support. So if you aren't too careful, you can go all the way to the edge. There's going to be a little line of support here and a line of support there. Now, I'm going to add a square right here, and it kind of goes down into the water, right? You're not going to be able to see that. Just add some rings, because that's what water does, right? Same thing with this guy over here. Add a couple rings. They get bigger as they come to you. Same thing with over here. You're not going to be able to see as many of them, but they're definitely there. Also in the water, you're going to see a lot of these little waves going out because you're on the edge, right? So let's go ahead and add that. All right. Same thing with the mountain. Just a little guy, just barely touch it. Now, what you're probably seeing is like the mountain sky and then the mountain in the background. You got this dock. Now, it's soaking wet right now. And let me actually get some of this paint off my wrist here. Boom! There we go. Got something pretty, right? Well, now you need something in your foreground or front ground, whatever you want to call it. I don't know nothing about art. Let me just drop all my painting brushes here. So now we're going to need this big guy here. It's not the biggest one, but it works. We're just going to go straight up black, right? So this guy here, go ahead and make sure it's cleaned off. Because I keep everything wet on here, it just starts mixing into a dark color. That way you don't really waste as much paint. It's nice. So I'm going to let's do a big tree on the left because clearly the right has a ton of stuff going on. So we'll do like a little bush or something over here. So I'm going to take a big old lump and just kind of, I'm going to drag it up because trees are always bigger when they're close to you. Just drag this guy up. And because this is such a dark picture, what I'm going to do is actually make this thing very, very vivid. We're also going to add a whole bunch of flowers down here to bring the color out. All right, there we go. Got a big old tree. We're going to throw a branch right here. Throw a branch up here. Branch right there. Go up here. Throw some more black in there. Oh. Throw some more black. Trees get bigger down at the bottom, but this isn't going to be one of those crazy big trees, right? All right, cool. All right. Let's bring this guy out a little bit here. And let's make it kind of come over the top. Just one side, right? All right, cool. So we got that. Now, I'm going to do one of my favorite things. It's not a brush. Actually, painting with brushes really gets the color down, right? But my favorite thing to paint with is about 6 cotton swabs. The reason why I like cotton swabs is because they're super cheap. And when you take them and you put them together like this, you just take them and you wrap them together real close like. What they do is they make a random point, but it's like real big, thick points. And since we're keeping with the colors with this purple, orange, reddish kind of color and blue, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this tree a violet with a little bit of yellow because, you know, it's kind of reddish, right? So let me find myself not too bright. I want a darker yellow. I guess it would mix with the black, wouldn't it? Let's do a dark green. Let's do kind of a magenta red. You know, just autumn colors, I guess. And you know what? Let's bring that red in. So here's what I'm going to do. So here are the colors I'm going to use for the tree, right? Nobody uses these colors for trees. It doesn't make sense. Trees aren't these colors, but it'll look good. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them all on my little palette here. I know, you see my butt. That's fine. You don't need a lot because you're really not going to use too much. Ooh, that green looks good. And as a matter of fact, I absolutely love metallic colors. So like copper and gold and just the silvers with the little sparkles in it. So let me find a metallic color here. Here we go, copper. I found a copper. And what I'm gonna do, and this is why I love cotton swabs, because you can do this. So, you see, I've got all my colors, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the cotton swab, get it real thick on there. I'm gonna do that with each color real thick, right? Oh, let me just drop a couple of them, it's okay. Get it real thick on this guy here. Real thick on that magenta. Let's do 2 on magenta. And then on the copper, we're gonna add 1 more. Now you're gonna take all these, wrap them together, and you get these colors, right? I'm gonna set this down. Make sure this is perfectly straight. And I'm just gonna start giving it the old dab in here. Notice how they spread out. You can easily do it as wide as you want, as close as you want. I actually prefer it to be closer. And because it's dark, it'll mix with those colors. I'm gonna grab some more of the colors. Just grab the different colors and throw them on there. Just keep on doing that. And this should bring a dark kind of, because it's gonna mix with all the wet paints behind it. And one thing I love doing is painting with the wets, because it makes it just look correct. Because if you do it individual, it doesn't mix, you know. And that's a cool thing about color, is it can be as bland as you want it to be, or as defined as possible, and it still looks really cool. Notice how the tree is mostly dark, right? And what that'll do is it gives the impression that there's color there, when at the same time there's not. And eventually it'll turn black as you mix it. So you don't want to add too much tap, because then it'll mix together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in a second, and I'm going to tap in white over the edges, and that'll give definition. It'll make it look like it's a tree instead of just color in a spot. Now at the bottom, when I said I was going to do the flowers, what that'll do, hang on, I'm almost done. Just throwing a little bit of blue on the top. Lift it up here, all the way to the edge of the canvas. You see, now it looks like a tree. It looks like a dark tree, but you can see there's color all throughout, right? I'm going to bring it all the way down. And now we have like a tree on the side. Now let's add some whites. So because these are used, right? I'm going to go ahead and put these in my used pile. I'm going to get my titanium white, just white, right? So, just white. I'm going to get some more cotton swabs. Just white. Just white. Dip all your swabs in there. So, see how it's got a little bit of black on it because of how wet it is on the back. What we're going to do is we're going to just barely touch. Not a lot. And you want it to kind of make it, you want to go with the branches of the tree. You want to make it like bushes, right? Little tree bushes here. Bring it out a little bit, all the way up. Doesn't gotta be perfect. It can come straight out too. You want to kind of bring it to a point because, you know, trees are not squares or circles. They're trees. Let's go ahead and do this. Bring it out a little bit more. Put some more white on here. So now you can kind of see how that tree's coming along. It's got the oranges and grays. It's just barely in there. It's not real heavy, but you can see it. And because the mountains are like splotchy, and then you got the dotty on this side, you get this cool kind of contrast between the mountains and the trees and the skies and the ground. And now, with the bottom here, right? Remember I said I'm going to add flowers. What I'm going to do with the flowers, I'm actually going to use more of these swabs. I only use about 4 or 5 per swab, right? And because we're going to use these dark colors, I'm going to take a violet and an orange again, just like we already have. But I'm going to individually do rows on the bottom. So, do violet, and we'll do orange, and we'll do individual kind of like rows. And then I'll throw a little bit of copper in there because I love metallic colors. Because metallic colors are awesome. All right. Now, let's grab some more of these cotton swabs. Don't have too many more left. You can get like 170 cotton swabs at Walmart for like $3, $4. They are super cheap. And that many cotton swabs last you a long time. All right, so let's start with the orange here. Let's just... Remember, your tree's right here. You don't want to go around the log, but you can pull it out. Really, you should do the flowers first, but I want to do these last. Remember, our path is right there, so we're just going to kind of keep on adding the orange here. Don't be afraid to tap it hard either, because remember, you got that black there. What that black will do is kind of like bring it in and bring it out. And then on your last run, don't tap all the way down. You're going to take it and just barely touch, right? And then bingo, bango, bongo, you got that pretty color. So go to the edge of the dock here. Man, I love the sound of this rain while I'm doing this. All right, so I got the orange there. And it kind of looks like the orange, so I'm going to flip these over. And now I'm going to do the violet. Get that violet in here and just touch it in. Just do it row by row, and you'll get that beautiful color coming in. I mean, it looks really good, right? And remember, your walkway is going this way, so you can actually bring this in. And because those other violets are up there, you can actually let it fade out towards you. Make sure you add the texture. You want to make sure it seems like it's there, but it's dark. Look at that. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. I've impressed myself. All right, now I'm going to set this guy down. Go ahead and put my little guys down there. Now, since we have a dock here, what are you supposed to have on a dock? You're supposed to have people. Now, I know it's natural, but I'm going to throw one little person in there, all right? Little guy in the back, and we're going to make sure it's black just like everything else in the area. Because of how wet it is, it's going to be kind of difficult, and that's okay. All right. We're not going to make him big. We're going to make him a little guy. Little fisher guy. Now, we already have this black here, so let's not waste it. Let's go ahead and take it up. And just tap it on there. Sorry, I have to focus. I don't want to mess this up too much. All right. Now, let's go ahead and wipe that on there. Little head on here, right? Little hat. All right. Go ahead. Make it flat. Make this the only flat spot in the whole photo, picture, whatever it's called. this might have been a bad idea. Sorry. And so, with him being flat, what we can do is, because you can't really see any definition because it's straight up black. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to tap in the arms and tap in the legs and kind of define the shoulders. And what that'll do is you can see the depth through the texture rather than color. And voila. Now I gotta add my old signature. And we know what my signature is, right? The good old 46. Big old 4 and a big old 6. That's me. Bang! What should I name this one? Sunset Meadow Mountain. There we go, Sunset Meadow Mountain. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the cleaner. And if you guys hung out this long, I'd like to say thank you, and check this guy out. What do you guys think? Not bad, not bad. Well, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys coming and watching this week. I'm going to try to post every single Sunday. And if you enjoyed this, I'd love to see you next week. My name is Harvey. This was Painting with Harvey, and hopefully it starts warming up soon. See you guys later.